It's day 14 of 30 of our knit-a-thon. Welcome to the knit-a-thon. So excited you're here as we are creating comfort for cancer patients. It's daily knitting for a cause. And every donator, your donation goes straight to the American Cancer Society, but you also sponsor a project for me to knit for a cancer patient going through chemo. And our donators, our sponsors have been amazing. Every day in the month of November is full. That's so cool. So today is day 14. As you can see on the calendar here, we are working on a cozy chemo beanie. And we also have an overflow tracker. But look at this. We have our very first item completed on the overflow tracker. How cool is that? So, this overflow project was sponsored by Bernice. Thank you, Bernice, for sponsoring today's overflow project. And here it is. I just want to share with you and show you what it looks like. Look at all those colors. So cute. So it's mainly this light blue, but with pops of color here. I love it. I love the way it turned out. Thank you, Bernice, for sponsoring this cozy chemo scarf. So I want to also tell you that today's item that we're knitting live is going to complement that scarf. And that project that we're working on today is sponsored by Laura. So we're going to use similar colors in this project. And if you're curious where this color scheme is coming from, this is the culprit. This faux fur palm with all of these colors, that is what has inspired the color scheme that we're going with today. So this is how the colors came together. So we're going to start. I have a little, um, not necessarily a pattern, but a cheat sheet for myself of the colors that's a similar pattern to this that we're going to try to do on the hat. So let's go ahead and cast on. We're weaving in and out of all of the pins, going fairly slow to make sure that we don't skip any pins. And we know we've done it right if we end up at the back of the very last pin. So today, another thing that I'm shooting for is actually 140 rows on this beanie. So this one, I want it to have a bit of a longer brim. So we're going to shoot for 140 rows on here. Thank you, Kelly. Isn't that faux fur palm pretty? All those colors. That's our inspiration for today. Glad you're here. Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Pam. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully, you are both having a great Thursday. So, let's get into this beanie. So, this was the cast on row. And now I'm going to set my counter to 0. I like to make sure that it's okay. There we go. Make sure that it's set after I pass the very first pin on the machine, and then I set it to 0 because I like for the counter to go off after I finish the row rather than before I even start the row. So that's just something that I've started doing. So that was one. The click was one row. And we're going to do 10 of this first color here. The reason that I'm doing 10, it's just the reason that I'm doing all of the specific numbers that I have is just based on the amount of yarn that I have left. Because some of these are very small, some of these are a little bit bigger than others, and then this fun fur, there's only a little bit left. So we're working with what we have and hopefully creating something beautiful. For this, we're going to go in with the green, the fun fur green. We're using a combination of red hearts, burnet, and lion brand. So two more of this. The last one. Uh-oh, I think I see a situation. I think I see two situations. Oh my gosh, I see three situations. This one, unless I just can't see it. Where's my hook? Oh, I'm looking for my skinny crochet hook. It looks like I don't have a stitch right here. I may just have to wait until I get there to see what's going on. This is the last row on this color. And right here, yeah, I had a tucked one. I had a tucked one there. I'll have to fix that once I come back around. So we're going to do a change from this to green to this bun fur, which is lion brand. This tends to tangle on itself, so trying to be careful not to create a bigger knot. I'll probably do maybe two of these. Or so, two or so. Grab that color because we're limited on this fun fur. So I want to make sure that it lasts for this little pattern that we have. So that was two. This is three. Preserving it. So now we're changing to this plum color. Hold these together as we change. Make sure that it's down. And on this one, we're going to try to do 5 or 7 rows. One. I'm going to have to put it in my clear bin on the bottom so that it can unravel fairly easily. Do actually, I'm going to do 2 more. We're making it up as we go. And then this is the last one. You may add a little bit more of that color on the inside, but for now, we're going to use the remainder of this color. There's not very much of this left. Not sure how many rows this will get us. But with this one, it doesn't matter where we end. We're just using it up. Using it up and getting tangled. So now we're going to go in with the green again, this fun fur. And we're going to do 3. Now we're going in with this this mint color here. I'm going to put that in my bin at the bottom so that it can unravel fairly easily. Hold it together on the color change, just making sure that it does get caught. We're actually at row 38. Well, I'm going to need a good bit of this color too. probably go to about, we're at 47. Go to 50. So we're going to go back to a blue. This is a bit of a different blue. And I'm going to do this one for 20 rows all the way up to 70. So what I'm trying to aim for is for the brim to be that blue when we flip it. Lots of colors going on, right? Lots of color changes going on. Oh, hey, Kato. What's going on? Right. I'm glad you're able to catch the live. It's good to see you. Yeah, those traveling days overseas were definitely experiences, right? Austere locations, but good food. I miss the food. And of course, the people, all those interesting people we had a chance to meet and help while we were overseas. Those were the days. I see Miss Pam saying hi to Zena. Hey, Zena. Are you watching us on Instagram? Are you watching us on Facebook or YouTube? Where are you tuning in from? Your project is coming up as well. I think it may be either next week or the week after. Well, hello, Glenn Loves Curls. Thank you for tuning in over on IG. We are crafting for a cause. This is all crafting for the American Cancer Society. So actually, I'm feeling my tension get a little bit heavy here. I need to lighten up. When it starts to click like that, I can tell that it's a tension situation. Ooh, I almost missed that color change there. My blue ball ran out. I need to change it. I thought this was all one strand, but apparently not. Pay attention to that. That's probably why the tension was feeling weird for me. So, but we're still going to row 70. We're not there yet. So, in this fundraiser that I'm hosting, it is in support of the American Cancer Society. So, when you donate, your donations go directly to the American Cancer Society, but you also sponsor a project for me to knit, and those projects go to my local hospital to cancer patients going through chemo. So I'm just going to roll this up because it's getting a bit longer. The longer it gets and it starts to drag, it could affect my stitches, and we don't want that. We don't want issues with our stitches. I have a few more rows before I change color to that main blue color. 8, 9, and this will be the last of this blue. Change color. And we may use that color again on the inside. So now this is going to be 20 rows of this color, this main blue color. So this should be our flip up. This should be the flip on the brim. So I changed the number of rows. All the other beanies that we've done have been mainly 120 and possibly a little bit over depending upon the amount of yarn. But this one is going to be 140 rows. We're shooting for 140. Good morning, Susie. Thank you for joining in. Good to see you. You like blue? Is blue your favorite color? One of my sisters has blue as their favorite color. And I'm going to be creating something blue for her. Not quite sure what yet, but she has a lot of blue. I had actually a field trip yesterday, a yarn field trip, where I made it to Joanne and Hobby Lobby, and they had the prettiest variegated blue. Um, when you said you like this blue, it made me think about the blue yarn color that I picked up yesterday. It was so pretty. I can't show it because she might be watching. She might be watching, and she might see the color that I show you, especially if I say this one's for her. But the color scheme that we're doing right now is going to complement this scarf that we've already made. If you didn't see the scarf in the very beginning, this is our overflow project that I created yesterday. So the colors that we're using now for this hat are the reason that we're doing it this way so that it can match. We are at row 80. 10 more rows of this color. And then I think we're going to go back to the plum because we can just mix it up after that. Because this pattern right here, the first one, oh no, the first, well, actually, the first 70 rows are the outside, but the 70 through 90 is the flip, is the brim. So the last rows after 90 are going to be on the inside. So it's not going to show. So it can be a mixture of whatever you have or whatever you want to do. If you are creating beanies as well, like I know Kelly is, but maybe someone else is also. So glad that everyone is tuning in on the live today. This is so much fun for me. I love crafting, I love creating, and also giving back. So this is just all in line with the things that I love to do. we're at 88. Two more rows of this color. And then I think I'm going to go back with the plum. Just one more on the 90. And we can change colors. I'm so curious to see how this is going to come together because this is the first time doing a 140 row beanie and changing the colors intentionally. We're experimenting. We're doing it together. So I'm actually going to use this plum until it runs out. I just have to keep an eye on it so it doesn't slip through my fingers and I miss the end of it. Uh-oh. It's tight. Yikes. I don't know how that all stay. I mean, I probably can get this one. And I just share with you how awesome the sponsors are. If this is your first time watching on the live, I just want to share with you our fundraising journey and the progress because I think it's pretty awesome. So cool. I love that. I love that. So I am changing the color. We ran out of that purple right at the color change, so it worked out great. So I'm going to add this color in. Sponsors have been amazing in this fundraiser. Absolutely amazing. We set a goal, an initial goal. We met and exceeded that. We set a second goal, a second goal after we met the first one, or we met and exceeded that one as well. So now we have a third goal, and I'm looking forward to meeting that one because God's not done yet. I thought the very first goal was a bit of a stretch, but it's not about me. It's about, it's about me just doing the passions that God put in my heart to do and serving the way that He wants me to and being obedient with that and just letting Him do the rest. And that's what I'm doing. I'm coming on here every day, creating something from a passion of mine and letting Him do the rest. I have to tie these stitches together and tie these. Uh-oh, I think I see. Where's my stitch markers? I think I see a situation. I hope I don't have to repeat what's going on here. I think I see some drop stitches. Ay, ay, ay. I'm just going to put this stitch marker right here. And we'll come back and look at that. See, it happened again. This blue yarn slipped right out of my fingers. And I'm going to add a color change right here. I'm going to tie this on. We may have to get creative on this hat the way we had to with the scarf by mending a drop stitch space, connecting the stitches together. A lot of color changes. So I don't know if you can see on the left side, if I make this wider, you can. This yarn right here, we're coming to the end of this as well, getting thinner. This red heart yarn is being a little sticky today. Sticky meaning that it's getting like stuck on some of my pegs, on some of my pins. Definitely, Kelly. Definitely. Because the machine definitely loves some yarn more than others. That's for certain. And I can say that, let's see. Well, I was going to say, I think red heart is the yarn that I use where I find a lot of the issues happening. But we did have an issue with that fun fur, but I don't think that was because of the yarn. When that happened, that was because I just wasn't making sure that it got caught at that particular time. That fun fur has never stuck. It's only been, for me, the red heart yarn that gets tucked. So I'm just going to roll this up to get it off the table. Stretch this out so we don't get tension that's too tight. And it's moving. But row 122, so just less than 20 more rows to go, which will probably have to end up on this other blue color, which is fine because this is on the inside of the cap. We will have to, of course, mend some color changes on the inside by just tying those strings together. Always gets fiddly at the end. This 130. I don't think this is 10 rows. We're definitely going to be changing the color. It's getting quite a few rows though. We're at 133. This is what we have left. So I'm going to use as much of this as I can and then do the color change to that last color. Right to here. Perfect. And we're going to go with this. I'm not sure where the end is. There we go. Put this back on. So we are at 137. Just a few rows of this before we can bind it off of the machine. I want to go a few rows above the color change. So that I'm just going to do the last one here. So now I'm going to measure the tail. Oops. So we can take it off of the machine. So I'm going to thread my darning needle. I like to use this one because it has the curve, the little bend. I'm just going to knit this last one before we pick up the rest. So turning the machine slowly, we're going to pick up all of the stitches going all the way around. And then we'll be able to assess to see what we have to mend. I know there's some mending on here. Maybe some creative flowers we'll have to use to cover up some places. I love being able to use up yarn though for a project because I think any colors that you put together with, some type of alternating pattern looks good. No matter the color, you can make your own variegated color scheme with the remaining colors that you have. So, if you weren't aware, on the very last day of our knit-a-thon on the 30th, there's not going to be a project created on that day. We're actually going to do a raffle on that day. It's going to be a raffle for everyone that has donated to the American Cancer Society and everyone that has sponsored an item to be knitted. Um, and there's something else we're going to do on that day that may be a surprise. I don't know. I'm just saying. Um, but as you can see, every day is filled with fun projects. I love it. I say bring it on, bring on more, because I do have this overflow tracker where I am still committed to knitting and crocheting all the things based on your sponsorships throughout this month of November. So I guess you can say the 29th. I'm committed to having everything done on the 29th because on the 30th, there's no live knitting. There's just going to be a live celebration. And I say a celebration because the sponsors are going into a prize drawing. Hey, sponsors, donators. I don't know if you know, but you are going to be entered into a prize drawing. It's a raffle for your donations. And if you haven't sponsored or donated yet, you still have time to enter into the raffle if you are listening to this in between November 1st and November 30th. You still have time to enter into this raffle. How do you enter? By donating to the American Cancer Society and sponsoring a knitting item. I am raffling off 3 items, 3 winners. Thanks to Sherry, there's going to be 3 winners. Yay, Sherry. So I'm raffling off my Positive Affirmation. This is a blank notebook that you can use for journaling or however you want to use it. Grocery list, thought list, brainstorming, whatever you need, right? This is my Positive Affirmation 90-day prompt journal. This is intentional. There's also a bookmarker in here, which is a card. But this takes you through 90 days of affirmations and 90 days of journaling and 90 days of scriptures associated with your daily affirmation. And it focuses on self-confidence. So 90 days to unleash self-confidence. This is my first volume of my Positive Affirmation series, first of 4 volumes. And also this Positive Affirmation zipper pouch. What can you use it for? Whatever you want. It's a big sized zipper pouch. I guess this is it's close to the size of 8.5 by 11, but that's not the exact size. I don't know what the size is, but you have this to store all the things that you want to store in there. 3 winners to win one of these items. So if you've not donated or sponsored today, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You still have time to donate, which is so cool. So I've actually just completed taking the project off. I'm removing my brackets so that we can move the machine out of the way. And let's clean up our marks. machine. Okay, so now let's see what we have here. I may need this. So I'm going to take this off. And we're going to turn this on the wrong side so that we can tie up the color change spaces. This is the top. This is the inside. There was a color change all the way out here. Right here. So I'm just going to tie this one first. And all of these strings right here, I'm just going to go through and tie up all of the color changes. We definitely have a hole here. So we definitely have a situation here. If you can see my hand, right where the stitch marker is. So we have the stitch on this end that it was released from. I just have to find the stitch on the upper side that it needs to connect to. I need to look at this side, see if I can see it better without um, this right here. Oh, that's it right there. So I need to connect this part. Um, Now that I have those stitch markers in there, I want to see exactly where it shows up. So I'm going to turn it on the right side, the correct side, and cinch up the ends the way we normally do. Here's our drawstring. Cinch and just spread it around. Evenly distribute the cinch and stretch the hat. And on this side too, which is the outside of the hat. This is the first time having to the possibility to complete a hat over on the fundraiser page because normally we're able to finish this live, but with the fix that we're going to have to do, we're going to have to finish this on the fundraiser page. But these colors look really cute together. I'm gonna take the top and refold this, flatten it out. And let's look at our space here. I'm going to see how much is going to show. This is a double walled hat. So I'm stuffing the inside of the hat or the outside of the hat on the inside just to get a better idea of where this is going to show. If we were not putting a pom-pom on here, it could very well be a reversible beanie. Actually, it can still be a reversible beanie because the pom-pom is removable. I'm just flattening this out. These colors are pretty. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this on the other side and stitch this up together. Since it's showing on This is going to be the inside of the hat. It's going to be okay. I'm going to give you a preview of the outside. This is what the outside of the hat's going to look like once we cinch this together. This will be the outside. And then once we flip it, this is where we wanted that blue to show on the brim, which it will. So I love the way it turned out. I'm just going to mend up that hole, and I'm going to show you that mend over on the fundraiser page. But it looks so cute with the scarf that we created as well. How cute is that? I think it's cute. So we actually have, I'm going to finish this on the fundraiser page first off, and I'll show the end with the faux fur puff reveal, faux fur pom pom, I should say. But we've had two sponsors today. Laura has sponsored this chemo beanie that we've created today on the live. And Bernice Mitchum has sponsored this scarf on the overflow tracker that we have as well. So, two really great items that have been sponsored by some amazing sponsors. Thank you oh so much for sponsoring these items. So, I'm going to go and fix this, and if you're not on the fundraiser page, comment page, and I'll add you on there, and you'll be able to see exactly how I fix this and exactly how it comes together. Thank you to all the sponsors. If you have questions about donating, you'll see all the deets in the description of this video, wherever you're watching. If you're watching it on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, or even if you're watching us over on Instagram, you'll be able to have all the information about how to sponsor if you haven't already. Let me go fix this.